Hey, hello everybody. Welcome back. Welcome to the first 15 good minutes of 2025. LB, how you doing, man?
Okay. 25. Let's go.
25, let's go. Let's get it. Freddie, what's up, buddy? How are you, man?
Good. Happy start.
And listen, Charles is not here. We were just talking about him, not to him. If he finds his hot spot, great. If he doesn't, oh well, we will catch him next time. Because this is actually we're gonna release this one a little bit early this week because of the games that's coming up. I wanted to talk to you guys and say, okay, we had first year of the 12-team NCAA college football playoff. Bang, we're finally down to the Final Four. Before I have you break down these games that are coming up, I want to get your opinions on what you have seen so far and like how these four got here. I'm going to start with you, LB. Did anything, catch your eye, disappoint you, or make you feel like, hey, this 12-team thing could really be something that I could get used to?
Yeah, I am completely and totally disappointed with the first two rounds of the tournament. One for of all the teams that I wanted to make it to the Final Four, only one of mine made it in. So
which one?
That's Texas.
Right.
The other three teams, I can't stand any of them. So I may not even watch any of the rest of the tournament, to be honest with you. But the first two rounds were just so lopsided. And I really can't explain it. I didn't think they would be this. I didn't think they would be that way. I really didn't. SMU didn't do anything. Well, I didn't expect Indiana to win, but I expected them to put up a bigger struggle, a better show than that. Same with Tennessee. I expected more from Tennessee against Ohio State. And then Oregon. I mean, come on, man. It's just, like I say, totally disappointing for me. Personally, I'm not one of those people that if there's two teams playing and I don't like either of them, then I normally don't watch. I have to have, some interest in the team in order to watch. So, and I just don't want to see, and I'm pretty, if I had to put money on, I would bet on Ohio State beating Texas just the way they've played lately. But I hate Ohio State. So, and I don't want to sit there and watch Texas lose. So yeah, I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
So yeah, I mean, to that, I'm kind of the same way, LB. I made myself watch because I want to know. I mean, Freddie had told me this before, but I want to see for myself if this whole 12-team thing was legit. Mm-hmm. Or to Freddie's point, if he didn't use the word money grab, but he was kind of like, this is just, more teams in for that reason. The one you didn't mention that I just didn't understand was, I think it was a Penn State, Boise State. They got housed, they just got trucked. Mm-hmm. And, the one thing I will say is that a couple of teams that are probably not in favor of the 12-team thing anymore are the 1 and 2 seeds that are out, right, in Oregon and Georgia, because had it not been for that, they would be in this weekend.
Right.
But I'm gonna pivot to you, Freddie. I know you watched a lot of it too. Do you have similar feelings to LB, or did you see anything that gives you cause or pause that maybe this format it's just the way it was this year and it could be better, or have we seen the best of what it's going to look like?
I mean, to be honest with you, I'm totally pleased with the 12-team format. That first round, I don't like the fact that in that first round, there's home games. That's the fact that's the thing that I don't like. I didn't like that format. That would be the only thing that I would change, but I think it's great. I don't think they need to add more to it. 12-team format, it's going to guarantee that you don't see the Georgias, the Bamas, the Ohio State.
So new blood coming in.
Right. And you have to adapt to that. So I think that's great. That's great for the game, great for the tournament, if you will.
I agree with that, but I'm of the mindset, and I don't normally watch that much of it, but I'm of the mindset that it woulda, shoulda, coulda been more competitive, right? And so I don't have a problem with juicing the field and getting more teams in there. But if we end up, say 75% of the time with the same four teams, that you're going to see every year, then to me, that just really means that, yes, we're just doing this for some coin. And I get all of that because to your point, NIL and all this other stuff, these cats ain't coming back. And if you're on a team right now, I would say if you're on any one of these last four teams, as a person, as a player, and you represent yourself well, you really getting yourself ready for the league at the highest stage. So even for the three teams that don't win the ring, they probably ain't coming back either. So for me, and maybe it's because NCAA basketball, Freddie, has done this longer, but you get some competitive games like in the Sweet 16. You follow what I'm saying? I mean, You got little cats knocking off big cats. You got 16s knocking off ones, 15s, twos. And I'm not saying that's what I wanted here, but watching what was it, like 31-14, the Penn State game, it just it was so disinteresting to watch. And I'm thinking, I'm watching some of these other bowl games that weren't in the 12. For example, I think it was Alabama, Michigan, right? Two teams. I mean, Michigan won it last year. Alabama's normally in it every year. Although some of their cats had split, that game was more competitive to me than some of the ones in the 12. I'll say this, LB, that maybe that I'm not giving it a fair shot sample size wise because again, this is the first one. But I can't tell you right now that a year from now I'm going to watch all 12. Right. It's probably going to be for me like this weekend coming up. Okay, who's the Final Four? 2 games. I'm with it because to me it's like 2 championship games. I'm not going to put as much stock into how they all got here because I just thought it would be a little bit different. I'm gonna start this off and then toss to you, LB. When I look at the 2 games, right? Notre Dame, Penn State, Ohio State, Texas. I'm a little torn with Notre Dame, Penn State. One, because we got 2 brothers coaching. I'll say that. And I like the young fella at Notre Dame, but I don't like Notre Dame. Right. My problem with Notre Dame has always been y'all don't align to a conference, but now when we come to go for a championship, you get to ease your way in here. No, because if you could be in a conference for basketball, bring your ass in here for football and play these other cats. That's the one thing everybody else that's in here has done.
Right. We know what that's about. We know what that's about.
I do know what it's about.
But straight cash, homie.
Yes. And so so I mean, on the one hand, I can say, hey, you're going to have a black head coach in there for the first time, which is great in the championship game. On the other hand, I don't think Notre Dame can beat them, and I'm saying that because they're going to have to throw the ball. I think Notre Dame's quarterback was their leading rusher when they won the last game, and they threw for less than 100. And I just think Penn State's going to swarm them, and they're going to have to play. So for me, I'm going to give that nod to Penn State. Moving over to the only team left in LB's bracket, I too picked them, Texas, but I think Ohio State, at least right now, they just look shit. They just look unstoppable. Yeah. But I'm going to hold my ground. I'm going to still go with Texas, and I'm hoping that's a good game. So from those 2 games, LB, who do you like and why?
Well, I'm start with Texas. I'm rooting for Texas because I just hate Ohio State. But I agree with you that Ohio State is playing better than Texas. Texas barely got out of. But I mean, they beat Clemson, but it wasn't they didn't blow the doors off them.
Yeah.
So they got to get their stuff together between now and Friday. So I'm rooting for Texas. Again, Penn State and Notre Dame, I don't like either one of them. I really don't like Penn State because they've always, over the years, have taken players. Let's just say players from Maryland that could have played in Maryland or played close have gone to Penn State.
Ain't that Maryland's fault, though?
Yeah, that's what I say. I mean, I dig it, but still.
Are you talking about basketball or football?
We're talking about football. Yeah, football. So, yeah, Penn State has taken, if you go through their roster, well, I don't know how it is now before. Now everybody's going everywhere. But over the last 15, 20 years, a lot of players out of Maryland were going to Penn State. So, yeah, I'm going to root for Notre Dame. Root is not the right word.
He's struggling for something.
I'm going to root for the darker of the two black coaches
I mean, I mean, I mean, okay. I'm gonna leave that alone.
You got, hey, you gotta hang your hat on something, so that's what I'm hanging my hat on.
I'm gonna leave it alone.
So
Who you like, Freddie?
The Notre Dame offensively, they're not impressive. You got, your quarterback is the second leading rusher. I think he has about 800 yards rushing. When you flip it over to Penn, their quarterback is not great throwing the football, but he's a lot better. I think he has about 3,800 yards passing. No, I'm sorry, maybe 20.
You think he has more weapons?
And he has two, offensive line, not to mention 2,000-yard rushers with Allen and
they got a pair of them back there.
So if I had to make a selection, a guess between the two of those, lean towards Penn State. Now, as it goes to Texas and Ohio State, Texas offensively, they seem like they're a little bit disjointed right now. Defensively, they're stellar. They're stellar defensively. They can hang, right?
Can the secondary of Texas line up with the receiving core for Ohio State though?
So I'm getting to think about Ohio State. You do not know what you're going to get from them. The last two games that they played in the tournament,
they gave you everything.
They look like a $20 million roster. I'm gonna lean towards. I think I picked, when we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I picked Ohio State, and I'm gonna stick with it. So I think it's gonna be Ohio State and Penn State.
And if that happens, I'm definitely not watching.
You talking about the championship game, LB? That one you chirping out on that last one.
Yeah, Penn State and Ohio State make it to the championship. Yeah, me and some of the guys, we normally meet at the Green Turtle for championship games every year and watch it. I'm not coming.
Don't let him go. Don't let him do it. Don't let the devil use you.
I think just looking at your last point, Freddie, I think that's why I believe that Texas does have a shot, because I don't know if Ohio State can play at that level game after game after game. And Texas, to me, is good enough that if you give them, a lane, they can go do something. And to be fair, I don't think they've played their best football either. But having said that, you're running out of runway, Texas. Mm-hmm. You can't. Yeah. I can't keep saying that. At some point, you're in a national semifinal. You should be clicking. Rolling, the two teams to me that look like they're clicking. I mean, like clicking. Penn State and Ohio State. I mean, in terms of execution, scoring, distributing the ball, cracking people on defense, making good catches and good plays. I don't have a dog in this fight. I really don't. But watching this level of football, to me, it should be one of those things where when the halftime comes, you getting up and you run and go get whatever to come back.
Right.
I was sending text to LB saying, "Yo, I'm out in the first half of some of those other games," and I was seriously, because if these games are trash and there's any kind of college basketball on, I'm gone. Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm gone. Our first show of the New Year's in the books. Let me see if the guys have something to say. LB, how about you, buddy? You got something to say today?
Yeah, I'm going off the cuff, as they say. Customer service, folks. Customer service. We talk about this often on this show. At least I believe we talked about this before. I stayed at a Sandals resort, Dunn's River to be exact, a newer Sandals resort in Jamaica this past over the holiday. And let me just say, the Sandals, they get it right. Customer service, they get it right. Every other hotel, resort that I've been to, none of them come close to what a Sandals resort does when it comes to customer service. If you haven't been, say again.
How much was that bill, though?
Oh, you pay for it.
But it's not bad, though.
But here's the deal. I don't mind. And to be fair, because I had the same conversation with somebody the other day, Freddie, and they would say the same thing. Oh, it's expensive. Well, yeah, it is. But so for this particular trip, I compared, I was going to go to Cancun, and I compared the price of an all-adult, all-inclusive resort versus a Sandals resort. And the price difference was about $1,000, to be clear. It's about $1,000.
Total per person?
Total.
Okay.
Total, about $1,000.
I can live with that.
I can live with that, because the level of customer service I get at Sandals it far exceeds anything I could have got at the place I was going to stay in Cancun. This was my third time staying at a Sandals resort, and I have yet to be disappointed with the customer service. Not one time. So they get it right. The rest of y'all are trash. These other resorts. I'm just telling you, trash. Go stay at a Sandals, take notes, and then come back, and then you can make your resort comparable. Thank you.
Yeah, and I have to piggyback. The word I would use is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
And to LB's point, I've been 17 times to different ones. And there's times around day 3 or so, I've told this to D, I could be at the pool or the beach, and if I close my eyes for a minute, I don't know if I'm in Jamaica, St. Lucia, Bahamas. You know what I mean? The service is the same. They're pros. They send people to places like England to learn how to listen and how to wait on you, And so, yeah, Freddie, it's a couple bucks more, but still cheaper than your $600 rooftop dinners. You know what I mean? And so at some point, I'm of the mindset like with LB, and I want to say, I can't remember. I mean, I want to say 2002 or 3 when we first started going, whatever. I knew then, just like LB said, and he said he's only done 3. I knew then, Freddie, when I'm going to go to a Caribbean location, it's going to be them, nobody up, period. Yeah. Because LB was with me on one trip where, I wasn't a big fan of that particular resort, but I gave my daughter and her husband a choice. If I'm paying for y'all's honeymoon, it's going to be at a Sandals that had that many points. They chose one that I wouldn't have. I forgot which one it was, but it wasn't what I called it wasn't the best, but we still had a rocking good time. Yeah. And the service, even there, I think it's amazing. And when you pay that kind of money, it's going to be all adult, you're going to be taken care of, you're going to have those same wonderful choices in food and all of that. I think you get what you pay for, man. And I didn't even have I got something to say, and I took more time with that than LB did. So, yes.
That was my point that I was in, not just because it's expensive. I've never stayed at a Sandals, but I've heard that I've never heard anyone say that they had a bad experience at Sandals.
You know how everybody has their, frequent flyer reward system and this and that, and some of those are really just token. Mm-hmm. It isn't with them. They count up all your nights. They gave us, we got whatever that minimum number is, and me and D did a free one. And it said, okay, listen, pick one for a week and just go for nothing. So when you hit whatever that number is, and I want to say it's 70 nights, something like that total, they give you a week and you pick your resort and you go. Mm-hmm. So it's a double-edged sword. And that one, you're not just going to get the points. You like going and you have fun when you go there, and they will reward you because they want you back. I mean, they really want you to come back. And having not spent, and I know LB has been to many more resorts of different, titles than we have. He's traveled to different ones. But for him to say that based on all the places that he's been, to include, some really nice spots in Mexico, I think it just says a lot about who Sandals is and what they stand.
Before I left, I booked my New Year's Eve 2025. I'll be back at Sandals in Jamaica. Not at this one, but I'm going to Montego Bay for 2025. I already booked.
Bam. Freddie, you got something to say today, buddy?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it quick. Thoughts and prayers goes out to those who lost loved ones in that senseless, situation down in New Orleans. So tired of, people going into, public places, whether it be schools, churches, or whatever, killing innocent people is just happening too much. Hopefully, we have a better, 2025, less violence toward one another. Hopefully everyone has a good start to 2025.
Amen, brother. That's a good one to chirp out on. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy some college football. And if it's trash, there's a lot of college basketball on. Be like me, cut over. We'll catch up with you guys. We'll see you guys next week. We're out.